Now, how do you get correct focus and exposure? First of all, what is focus? Now, where's the focus now?
In the front.
In the front, isn't it? Focus means when you put your focus on this point, the others become blur. With a handphone, if you're taking a picture of a far scenery, you may not see where focus is because all of it tends to be very sharp. But if you're taking food photography, when you're getting closer, the focus points become more and more important. So the closer it is, even at this distance, focus can already matter. Someone will be sharp and someone is not sharp. So this is focus in the middle and at the back. And what is exposure? Exposure is when your picture is too dark, too bright, or correctly exposed. You want to be at a point where you're correctly exposed. If it's too dark, you cannot see anything. If it's too bright, it gets all blown out, as they call it. The details are all gone. So, let's see. Using your phone, you actually have a function whereby you can actually press on the screen to place your point of focus and exposure. Okay? That's what everybody knows. But if you hold it a bit longer, on the iPhone, you will have what we call the AEF lock. Have you seen that? Yeah, this way you can actually pull and move that to a point whereby the focus and exposure is locked. Wow. And also, the little slider at the side can move up and down to brighten or darken the picture. This is one way for you to prevent it being too dark or too bright. In a dark room, you can push it up and make sure that the picture will be brighter. Okay? Same with Android, you have the AEF lock. But with Android, you can actually separate the two. So if you, for example, have the focus on the house and suddenly find that the exposure, you want to take exposure of the sky, you can actually separate the two. With iPhone, you cannot do that. But for iPhone, if you want to do that, you can use camera apps. So the one that I use is the Camera Plus 2 app, which enables you to separate your focus and exposure. So that's very important for you to be able to fine-tune your picture on where do you exactly want to focus and where do you want to actually get the exposure, whether it's too bright or too dark. All right, let's get on with pictures, because the whole idea is to take pictures. Okay, this is my first picture. It's a bit dark. Can you see anything? No. You sure? Ah, okay. This is a picture of a black cat in a dark room. And why didn't you see the cat in the first place? Maybe because there's no light, isn't it? As you know, what is the definition of photography? Anyone knows in Latin? Photography. It means the writing of light. Writing with light or painting with light. So if there's no light, that's the sort of picture you get, isn't it? Of the black cat in a dark room. But with some light, you can see him. So my next tip is look for good light. And when I say good light, doesn't mean bright light, you know. Everyone thinks, oh, it's bright here, it's great light. Not always. Because good light means suitable light for your subject. So as a photographer, you need to know the intensity of the light, the quality of the light, the direction of the light, the color of the light. Sometimes you got blue color cast on a person's face, it's not right, isn't it? So all this will take a long time, obviously, but I think I just want to be giving you a small tip. Shoot during golden hour and blue hour. That's the beautiful part of the day. That's why you see most photographers, they'll go out chasing after sunrise, sunset, isn't it? Why? Because it's beautiful light. Midday, you try to shoot, everyone's face is with black shadows and all that. So look for beautiful light. So what I can give you in terms of a tip is with your handphone, set it to night mode. If you look at, just now, we look at this one here, you'll be able to see that there is a setting that's called night mode here. Yes. So use that when you have to slow the shutter speed, to have greater exposure, to have nicer light. Okay, you can shoot when it's golden light or blue light. Now, when is golden light or blue light? It's when there's an hour or so before or after the sunrise or after the sunset. Because during the day, the contrast increases, and then it contrast decreases as it continues during the day. When it's too contrasty, you get ugly shadows. So this is when you want to try to avoid during the day. The other tip that I can give you is that when you are using night mode or longer exposure, there will be a chance there will be blur. So what you want to do is to have tripods. You can have tripods like this. Yes, to stabilize your shots. This one is one of the huge. You can have very tiny ones like this. Very tiny ones, like this even. I can pull out the legs here. Or have something which is more stable, which is something like this. And then you can actually put it like that, and you can put your phone here. So these are little tripods that you can carry around to get more stable shots. All right? Okay. So let's look at some examples of light. The one before that. Okay. Yes.
So 1 hour before start.
No, okay. You have apps, like I use Sunseeker. Sunseeker will tell you exactly when is the golden hour and blue hour. So you can, because different days were different places. When you go to England and all that, that's why you have beautiful golden hour long time. For ours, it's quite short. Blue hour will go off very soon because we are at the equator. So you use the Sun app, Sunseeker app, or apps like that to find when's the golden and blue hour. So if you look at light, when I say intensity, it can be very bright light, but it can work to your advantage if you want to show colors. They'll become very saturated. But if you show the person's face, it won't be that nice, isn't it? Yeah. So when you want to have shooting like someone's face, you need soft light. It can be in the morning time, you look for shade, you look for soft hour. Yes, golden hour is also good because it's softer light in the evening. Okay? The other times, even during the day, you look for shafts of light. Shafts of light and bounce light, reflected light as well. Okay? Window light is another one that's very good. If you want to pose someone, bring them towards close to a window because it's directional light. Then you can see a 3D, feature of the face rather than straight on bright light. Okay? But even with very bright midday light, if you want to show silhouettes and shapes, you can still work for you because we're looking here at colors that stand out and the silhouettes. So in this case, that's what you want. So when we say light, good light means what is suitable for your subject. That's what we want to emphasize on. Yes, the objective. I want to show shapes. I want to show, silhouettes. I don't need to know what his face looks like, isn't it? Yeah, so this is how I do it. I want to show the mountain, but I want to show that the tourist. I don't need to see who's the face. I don't want people to look at his face. I just want to show shapes and silhouettes. So this is the kind of light.